Yo, what's up guys? Denchi here from Southpaw, Malaysia, and welcome to another edition of Fight News. We're gonna go through a bunch of recap from what has happened over in the month of February, and we're gonna try to talk a little bit on what to expect in the month of March and maybe through the months after that. So let's recap month of February. First things first. The first thing that we are gonna talk about was Ultimate Beatdown. Ultimate Beatdown held their number 44th event of their entire, promotion's lifetime. And it's been an amazing event. Obviously, it's Ultimate Beatdown. Who can deny that they always make a good event? The only thing that people seem to complain about is their time management. They always seem to be finishing later. But then again, I don't blame them since they have like tons and tons of fight, and they do change like their fight cut a lot. Like that means on the dates how people pull out, but it's actually, I like it in terms that they always have fights. So no matter what, they always try to find replacement, If you fight an Ultimate Beatdown, you're gonna get a fight. However, you may not get the fight that you were supposed to have. But again, in an amateur setting, that shouldn't be necessary anyways. You shouldn't need to care about who you're gonna end up fighting unless it's gonna be in a professional bout where money is on the line. Amateur is all about experience anyways. Ultimate Beatdown crowned 2 champions over in Johor just a couple of weeks from when we're filming this. They have 1 kickboxing champion in the bantamweight category. Now, the kickboxing champion fought twice in that night. They had to fight for the semi-finals, a Super 4. Okay, once again, it's a Super 4. They had to fight twice in the night. They fought 1 time during the daytime, the first bout of when the kickboxing phase started, and then they fought again right before the main event. So yeah, props to the guy for winning. I called him out and said, hey man, you want to do a call out for anyone to challenge him? So he challenges anyone within the 65 kilo category, so that's featherweight now, to challenge him, because apparently the man that won the belt, he usually walks around 68, like 69, and then he cut a lot of weight to make bantamweight. So his next step up is to try to fight over at 65 kilograms. But what happens to the bantamweight belt? Well, perhaps a new champion or someone else to come after that bantamweight title for the kickboxing fight in Ultimate Beatdown. Anyways, the main part of Ultimate Beatdown 44 was Prakas versus Johnson. That fight has finally had its conclusion. Prakas came out the winner, as in a split decision win. Prakas messaged me after the show. He's saying that he wasn't too satisfied with his own performance. I think Johnson would say the same for himself. So, but then again, styles make fights. Sometimes when you have 2 people with very similar fight styles, it just doesn't work out so well, It's one of those things where if you get 2 strikers in a UFC matchup, it becomes a snooze fest because both of them, want to play the counter-striking, and then want to play counter-striking, they want to play the distance, and both of them understand the risk about entering, and then suddenly you get 2 wrestlers fighting in a UFC matchup, it becomes a bloodbath. So it's one of those things that styles make fights. A bit unfortunate that for the audience point of view, that the fight came out the way it is, but then again, these guys are fighters and these guys are still in the amateur region. Both of them are ready to head up to the professional line now of combat sports. So I think both of them performed really well, and props to the champion, and props to Johnson as well for fighting that fight. Can't wait for another edition of a super fight, whether if it's going to be someone else or going to be a different category. So we'll see. Maybe not an Ultimate Beatdown. Maybe it's going to be an Octagon. Maybe it's going to be in Malaysian Fight League. Maybe it's going to be somewhere else. Maybe Spectre will have their own super fights if one Spectre gets like boxing roster, quite popular. And you can make super fights out of that. Want to see more. It's nice to see people are starting to get known for fighting. It's really nice. So, but that's Ultimate Beatdown. Overall, it was a great show, great experience. If you are new, you want to make your debut, I think Ultimate Beatdown is a good place to go. But then again, there's a lot of fight shows in Malaysia for newcomers to come about. But those of you who wants to take that extra step, who wants to take that step towards hitting professional, right now Ultimate Beatdown is a very good option. One last part about Ultimate Beatdown. Ultimate Beatdown will be having their next event over on May 13th. That is confirmed. Whether if it's going to be a super fight between Prakas and Lau Yit Long, I don't know. So we're going to find out very soon. But yeah, May 13th will be the next event. You guys can go over to Ultimate Beatdown Facebook page if you want to register for the fights. In the month of February, Malaysian Grappling League held another event. So MGL had a Grand Prix for a bunch of black belts to compete against each other. I wasn't there, unfortunately. I had to leave, but I did set up the stream for everyone. So my crew was there to tell me about how things happened. But if you want to know more about the event recap for MGL, we have an interview available with the man who brought MGL, which is Gautam. So Gautam, Daniel, and Adi, all three of them were talking about the event recap. So you guys can check out that video if you want to know more. They also speak about Malaysian Fight League, of what to expect this next one, and they also featured like the next coming events. But if you've already watched it, or you want me to say it once again, MFL is coming up on the 5th of March, and there'll be another Malaysian Grappling League tournament on the 18th and 19th of March. So back-to-back, Malaysian Grappling League will be holding another event. Do check out that event recap video that we had with Gautam, Daniel, and Adi if you want to know more about Malaysian Fight League and Malaysian Grappling League. But to summarize, Malaysian Grappling League, I think it's a good show, you know? It's a good platform for people to want to test their grappling skills. MGL also featured commentary provided from their own team. So Jason Leong actually came over to do the commentary, Jason Leong and Mike Morsher. Plus on top of that, the winner in MGL for the Grand Prix of a total of 1,000 ringgit was won by Tol Simpson. So yeah, congratulations to Tol Simpson for winning the 1,000 ringgit Grand Prix. But yeah, I think overall it was a great show, and MGL also featured some UFC fighters that came onto their platform, which was Easy Anwar and Mark Striegel, both amazing fighters. Mark Striegel been fighting for over like, I don't know how many years already, you know, since I first joined MMA. Mark Striegel was fighting around the local scene. He's fighting around in Philippines as well. But now he's also still fighting professionally MMA, and he came down to MGL to compete. So I think it's very nice, and big thanks to Mark Striegel for coming down to competing. Over on to the next part will be King of Sanda. Now we also have a King of Sanda recap for you to watch between me and Edison talking about the show after the event. But in short, King of Sanda was okay, you know, 11 fights, not the best any martial arts event to be held, but 11 fights in a night, I think it was okay. And King of Sanda, they tried to, you know, especially Edison himself, he comes from like the Sanda background, Sanda, KL Sanda team. So he wants to use the AMA platform to boost the sport awareness for Sanda. I think Sanda is a very interesting kickboxing sport. Personally, I really like Sanda. But of course, you know, I'm more of an MMA guy. You know, I like to see martial arts being tested all around, not just from the striking perspective, but also from a grappling perspective as well. So, but yeah, either way, King of Sanda I think was great, because you get to see all these, like, you know, a lot of guys coming from kickboxing, Muay Thai backgrounds, and then suddenly, oh man, there's a double leg involved. Yeah, so King of Sanda was fun in that perspective. It was also nice to see in King of Sanda that there was a number of fighters calling out fighters, you know, because we had such little fights in that night. Well, they told me to interview each and every fighter who won. And every time I passed the mic, at least like 3 to 4 fighters took the mic and was like, hey, I want to fight this guy. Hey, I want to fight this guy. Hey, you, I want to fight you, you know? So it's nice to see that kind of culture, that kind of entertainment culture brought down over to Malaysia. I think this can help boost the combat sport industry in Malaysia. So yeah, it's nice. I want to see more of it, you know? More interviews, more people calling out, and maybe a bit more social media presence as well. And finally, on the AMA side of things, I can confirm that we will be producing and directing a Diaries episode for Oscar versus Tina Haran. Stay tuned for that. Oscar versus Tina Haran, we're going to make a Diaries episode for them. They're going to be fighting over in May. So again, date's not fully confirmed yet, but it will be happening in May. But that's about it for AMA, you know. Oscar versus Tina Haran is going to be a fun one. And I think this time around, things are going to get really dramatic between the two of them. I'd really like to see them once we start filming that episode. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for more videos of that. But that's about it, guys. I'm Danchi, your host for Fight News. Don't forget to like, subscribe over onto our YouTube. We have more content coming up for you, by the way. We're not going to announce what is it going to be yet, but we're coming in hot with a lot more content. May not seem much right now, but once we start filming, we will definitely let you guys know what's going to happen. We have at least 2 different series coming up, okay? Just for you guys. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to catch up with what those series are going to be, and follow on our socials, follow on our, we also have a Facebook now, and also follow on our TikTok. We also have that now. Go on to all those social medias, follow us, and don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you like it. Take care. I'm Danchi, Southpaw, Malaysia.